this is kind of weird, but after all those shitty church programs and whatnot on Sunday morning, can I curse?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I think we've all established that's okay here, right? Okay.
Fuck yeah.
No, but after all of those cocksucking, shit-heeled church programs, they had this show called the Sunday Morning Movie. And man, what an influence. They showed everything from Godzilla flicks to Starman to How Awful About Alan to the original Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, etc., etc., etc. So, you know, it's like, as a child, it was instantaneous, you know, love at first scare. And one of my favorite memories, I guess, was being left at home alone on this one particular Sunday. Everybody, I don't know what the fuck the family was doing, but I got left at home alone. And on the TV came this movie I never saw before in my life, and it was Black Sabbath, Boris Karloff, Black Sabbath. And it fucking, I wasn't too happy about being alone, but yes, I was hooked.
Right. Is there any possible way that you can narrow down,
no.
Even like a top 5?
I know what you're gonna say, no.
Not even.
But, all right, Evil Dead 1.
Yes.
The original. Man, there wasn't anything as quite as powerful as that movie, and that's, whether it was a fluke or not, that was, as Stephen King said, a black rainbow of horror, and it's true. But, man, I have love for just about every decade since the 30s, 40s, up to the present, you know, the horror flicks. You know?
And internationally too, you're really big into the Italian stuff.
Not only the Italian stuff, but I mean, you know, there's all kind of shit out there, you know, Men Behind the Sun, you know, etc. But yeah, the Italian stuff you gotta love. But most people would say Argento, but I say Fulci. I do. Because Fulci, whether his scripts made any sense or not, the gore was just fabulous. Yeah.
You have a pretty extensive film library, to say the very least.
It's ridiculous.
What's your most prized possession in that?
That's impossible. That's impossible. I got box copies of the original, well, the only Return of the Aliens, The Deadly Spawn. You ever see that? There's like 3 people in it.
Phil gets deep with his collection.
But it is, man, it's awesome. But how about House with the Laughing Windows? No? Then you're fucking missing out. You call yourselves horror fans, you should spank yourself immediately. Awesome. Pupi Avati directed. And one of the most beautifully shot films, and underrated, and obviously not many people have seen it, but it's subtitled and it's great and it's amazing. And gosh, I'm a big TV horror fan too, though. You know, even sci-fi shit like Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, stuff like that. But I adore Night Gallery. You know, as a kid, you gotta love it, man. Hit and miss episodes, but when it hit, it hit. You know, and like, whoa, man, The Dead Man, and oh, don't put me on the spot here.
No, it's all good. We'll move on. So, House Core Horror Film Festival 3 is coming up in Austin. Anybody win? Anybody been before? Well, you need to fucking go. Is there any, San Antonio, my bad. Had it been in Austin prior?
Yeah, 2 years in Austin. This year it'll be in San Antonio, November 13th through 15th, and it's just shaping up, and we got some badass bands, and I'm gonna pick out some awesome flicks.
Sweet. I see that there was an official announcement to come soon. Is there any little secret that you can give us any insight on?
I can't say.
Okay, I understand. The unfortunate, untimely passing of your co-founder, Corey Mitchell. I know he's got a fundraiser going on for his family.
As it should be. Yeah, Corey was a passionate, unbelievably hardworking man, and a very, 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 very good friend. And it you know, when something like that happens, especially to me, and I'm sure a lot of y'all can, you know, agree or feel where I'm coming from. You don't really feel the whole brunt of it yet. You know, it really hasn't hit yet. But this year, we're dedicating the whole thing to Corey and rest in peace, you know.
Is there a Facebook or anything like that where people can find where they can help out Corey's family?
I know that there has been some fundraisers for his family and stuff like that, but
that's cool. Check it out, you guys.
I've been stuck in a hole, man. Friggin' producing records for so long. It's like, man, that's what he'd want me to do anyway. It's like, Phil, go back to work, you know.
Speaking of which, what's the latest happenings at Nod Ferratu's lair?
Oh, Jesus H. Christ, Almighty, I'm close.
Phil's recording studio at his home.
Yeah, man. Well, been writing new super joint.
Yeah!
Been writing new illegals. Been writing, actually, I'm in a secret death metal project with some secret other guys from across the equator. And it's called Metroton Ganga, and it's cute. It really is. And geez, man, what else? I've been doing like trippy shit, man, acoustic shit. I've been doing all kind of stuff, but recently I just got through producing a band called Child Bite, and they are tripped out, man. I can't say they're a metal band. Matter of fact, I'll say they're not a metal band. They're more like Black Flag meets Jesus Lizard meets Dead Kennedys meets the Midwest, you know. But I let them do their thing, and they're fantastic at what they do. I had old Bill Mosley down for a weekend, and he'd been bugging me for like 3 years. Phil, you know, write me emails. When are we gonna make some music, etc.? I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, Bill, I'm busy, you know. So finally, I get this weekend. He flies in, and you know, he's been begging me for so long. I'm thinking he's gonna bring, you know, he can jam something or whatnot. I'm like, what, you know, what instrument do you play? He goes, nothing. And he just throws this big pile of lyrics at me, and he's gonna write some songs. So anyway, in one weekend we wrote 4 interesting songs. You gotta know Bill Mosley, man. I let him fly with his own concepts, and all I can do is write what I wrote, and that's that. But other than that, Jesus, man, there's always more. Like right now, today, former Harp members have this grindcore band called Grisnan. They're at my house right now, probably digging through my fridge and stuff, drinking all the rest of my sips. But that's how we roll at Housecore. We like to invite bands in, they stay with us, you know, mi casa, they casa, you know. I ain't gonna cook for them, you know, so they can go to the fucking fridge, get what they want, live it up. I got 17 acres of beauty, pigs, chickens, cats, dogs, and beasts everywhere, so.
You still got the grandma goat hanging around?
Believe it or not, that grandma goat was a rental.
Ah, so no goats as the lair.
Man, the thing about goats is I think they bust out all the time. I can't imagine some neighbor beating on my door going, Phil, your goats are out again.
What's it like being Phil Anselmo's neighbor? I wonder.
They don't live very close to me, so
okay.
it's like,
Fair enough.
We're like, I basically have like a town.
Like a compound.
Oh, I totally have a compound, yes. But it's like a small town of my own, so the neighbors are pretty distant, and you know, they're cool. They, you know, when they hear us jamming from afar, they're, I guess, more tickled than pissed. So good on them.
There you go. Speaking of the studio, how do you hear about new bands? How do you discover new music?
We take in submissions, man. People mail me stuff all the time. And I can't say I'm prompt on it, but we do this shit where after we work for a good amount of time, we have this shit called Administration Day, where we go through all the submissions that we can possibly until we're deaf and just nothing sounds like you can't determine one band from the next, and that's when we say, all right, let's stop. But you find some gems there, man. You find some bands that are really, really, really awesome, and then, you know, a good, 75, 80% suck. But,
They get filed in a special file.
well, there's the absolute trash. Then there's the good pile, and then there's the funny pile. I love bad music, man. I really do. It's like it's like a sickness. I'm sorry, it's miasma.
I have to know, just for me, what is your guilty pleasure music? There's got to be some shit in there.
Man, I like all kind of music. Recently everybody kind of freaked out that I'm a Smiths fan, but I love the Smiths, man. I love shit like Joy Division, and I love Peter Murphy and fucking Bauhaus and that type of shit. Even the first 4 U2 records are fucking awesome, man.
Right? I was looking for Janet Jackson or something fucking really
No,
insane.
she is beautiful now. I tell you what.
She does that some new shit apparently.
Really, I don't care about her music. But she could, use my toilet anytime she wants.
Yeah, do that. Another one of your passions has always been boxing.
Piss yes.
What was your thoughts on the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight?
I thought Pacquiao got his ever-loving ass kicked, and that's all there is to it.
Fair enough.
Mayweather, the thing about Mayweather is he does not have 1 ounce of Sugar Ray Leonard in him. Had Sugar Ray Leonard been in that much control of a bout, he would have stepped it up and knocked that motherfucker out. And that's all there is to it. Too much coasting from Floyd. For him to call himself the best ever, look out, I'll say it here. Fuck you, Floyd. Especially when a guy named Muhammad Ali is still alive. You go fuck yourself.
I love it. All right, last question from me, I guess, before I open it up to all the fans here. If you could do it all over again, Phil, would you change anything?
Yes.
A lot of things?
Not a lot. That's complex, but I would have probably not drank as much whiskey as Dimebag wanted me to before the show, and injured my lower back, which really altered the course of my entire life, and to this very day, it's when you have 8 titanium clamps and screws in your lower back.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's not like a blowjob on Sunday morning when you wake up. It's like motherfucker, I'm still alive. It's like fuck. But I guess I would have done more core work and taken that part of the performance more seriously instead of being so impulsive and reckless, so to speak,
Well, I think reckless and impulsive is why we love this fucking guy, am I right? All right, you guys want to go ahead and